Have you ever heard someone say, "I'm sorry," but it didn't feel like an apology? It's like the words were there, but the weight was missing. Maybe it ended with, "But you made me." Maybe it sounded more like a trap than a truth. Because when some people apologize, they're not seeking forgiveness. They're resetting control. Apologies are supposed to rebuild trust. But in the wrong hands, they become performance. A mask of remorse that hides manipulation, and the most dangerous part, we're taught to accept them, even when they feel wrong. Even when they feel like a warning. The way someone apologizes tells you everything, not just about the moment, but about the future. Because healthy regret leads to change. Tactical regret leads to control. For manipulators, the apology isn't an end. It's an opening. People who chronically deflect, blame, or manipulate often develop their apology style in early life. Some grow up in homes where vulnerability was punished, so they learn to protect their ego at all costs. Others witnessed power dynamics where apologies weren't accountability, they were currency. Psychologists studying high-conflict personalities have noted how early trauma, especially in environments where emotional regulation was never modeled, can lead to distorted communication in adulthood. Apologies become rehearsed, not heartfelt. The goal shifts from repair to reset. Let's start with one of the most common manipulative apologies, the conditional apology. It sounds like this. "I'm sorry if you were hurt. I'm sorry you feel that way." Notice the subtle shift? The focus isn't on their actions, but your reactions. There's no ownership, no recognition of impact, just the illusion of empathy. This kind of apology protects their self-image while placing the emotional burden on you. It's not remorse, it's reputation management. They get to look like they're trying without actually trying. Imagine someone lies to you. You confront them. They say, "I'm sorry you don't trust me." Not, "I'm sorry I broke your trust." That one-word pivot from I to you turns the apology into an accusation. It gaslights the pain while appearing generous. The truth? Anyone who centers your reaction more than their behavior isn't apologizing. They're shifting the spotlight. Then there's the weaponized apology, the kind that makes you feel guilty for needing one. Sounds like, "Fine, I said I'm sorry. What more do you want?" Or, "I guess I'm always the bad guy." The surface, it's an apology, but underneath, it's a demand for your forgiveness and your silence. This tactic flips the emotional script. Suddenly, you feel like the aggressor. It's like you're asking for too much, when all you wanted was honesty. They hijack the apology moment to regain control, to shut down further discussion, to make you question your right to hurt. It's often rooted in fragile self-esteem. People who can't tolerate being wrong, who see fault as humiliation instead of growth, tend to lash out the moment vulnerability is required. So they cloak resentment in apology and call it peace. Here's the catch. If an apology makes you feel smaller, it's not an apology. It's an escape hatch for them, not for you. Another tactic to watch for is the strategic apology. Apologies that come only when there's something to lose. They say sorry not because they see the damage, but because they see the consequences. They're caught, exposed, cornered. Suddenly the apology is urgent. Tears, promises, grand gestures, all at once. But not out of reflection, out of self-preservation. This is common in relationships where one person holds emotional leverage. The moment they feel you might leave, they apologize. Not to change, but to reset the game, to get you back in the loop, back on the hook. Clinical psychologist Dr. Lindsay Gibson refers to this as pseudo-intimacy, a tactic often used by emotionally immature individuals to simulate closeness when real connection is missing. The apology feels deep until you realize it always happens at the exact same breaking point. And the behavior never actually changes. The dark truth. A good apology, when used by the wrong person, is more dangerous than silence, because it feeds your hope without feeding your healing. So how do you tell the difference? Real apologies are quiet. They don't demand. They don't rush. They take responsibility without conditions and offer change without pressure. They're not just about the words. They're about what follows. When someone truly regrets their actions, you'll feel a shift. It's not just in how they talk, but in how they move through the world. They'll give you space, not shame. They'll ask what you need, not what you'll drop. Most of all, they'll show you. Not once, but over time. But here's the hard part. You have to be willing to walk away when the apology is just noise. You have to trust your unease more than their excuses. Because when someone apologizes just to keep you, they're not afraid of losing you, they're afraid of losing control. You're not unkind for walking away from dishonest remorse. You are not unforgiving for expecting accountability. Forgiveness doesn't require proximity, and peace never requires manipulation. Not all apologies are bridges. Some are traps built from words you want to hear. Protect your energy. Stay curious. Subscribe for more from Beneath the Cortex.